Meet 34-year-old John Carter, a man who spent years playing the role of a grieving husband. But behind the calm voice and consistent story was a disappearance that never made sense. When Caitlin Markham vanished, John claimed to be searching for answers. In reality, every move he made would slowly point investigators back to him. And when Caitlin's remains were discovered in 2013, the illusion finally began to crack.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Come on in over here. I got you a chair right over there.
John, you want water or anything like that, or anything?
Water will be fine.
Okay, all right, let me grab you guys one.
No, I'm alright.
You what?
I'm alright.
All right, let me grab some water.
How's it going?
I mean,
Busy time of the year.
Yeah, I mean, like I was just telling her, I got a lot of stuff going on. You know, I have to go to this funeral on Sunday, and then I just got a new job at Miami Oxford.
Oh, did you? Doing what?
And maintenance for their power plants at
Oh,
their
good.
campus.
What's your status right now? I mean, you got a girlfriend or anything?
I do. I do have a girlfriend now.
What's her name?
Her name is Kayla. We met about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a degree where this kind of thing happens. I feel like, you know, there's no book, there's no proper way of handling it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So the way I feel is, can I kind of explain to you
Sure.
what happened after the fact?
Sure.
So after the fact, I fell apart. I was in my house for months.
Depression?
Yeah, very intensely so. I didn't eat for 2 weeks after. My mom finally got me a quarter pounder, and we were doing one of the searches, and I sat on the side of this hill and was just like, I'm gonna put it in. I'm just gonna see what happens. And I started eating, and then actually I really started eating. Like, I devoured the thing. But it was just like, you know, as I'm falling apart and everything around me seems to be completely ridiculous, I get to a point of the lowest low. And there was a particular instance where I'm driving down Pleasant right here. This is Pleasant.
Okay.
Nillis is right here.
Uh-huh.
I was driving down there, and I mean, I got to a point where I was ready to go. Like, I didn't want to be here. So I gotta be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I drive across Nillis, and what I assume to be a drunk driver or somebody just going really fast, going about 50 or something like that, blows through the red light, blows right behind me, and I remember that at a certain point, I guess instinctually or something, I gassed it, like I went faster, and I instinctually pulled myself out of it, and it kind of clicked in my head, like I want to live, like I want to be alive, I want to exist in this world, and with or without her, I'm still here. And after that, I got to a point where it was just like, I need to focus on making my life better and focus on, you know, just kind of maintaining a degree of...
On August 14th, 2011, a single call to dispatch in Fairfield, Ohio, ignited an investigation that would stretch across 12 years. Caitlin Markham had been in a 6-year relationship with John Carter, engaged, and just months away from graduating art school. She was known as creative, kind, and full of plans for the future. Then, in the span of one quiet summer night, she disappeared, taking that future with her.
Searches with them?
I went on some search parties. I did the first few, like I did every one I could. And then I went, and then Texas EquiSearch came in, and I started doing those, and then they started telling me that I couldn't because I'm sorry, give me a second.
That's fine.
Because if I found anything, then it would be horrible, and they didn't want me to do that.
So they suggested
that I stop searching. I didn't feel comfortable putting up the flyers because I had a lot of trouble. Every time I saw her picture, I would just cry because I missed her so much, and I couldn't do the flyers, so I had to do something. I'm sorry, man.
That's fine. Let's move up. You heard that her body was found. What was going through your mind then?
I didn't want to cry in front of the ironically, in front of the police officers. So I tried to keep myself. But I was with my mom when they told me, so I confided in my mom more than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to her, and I fell apart again. And a few days later, I fell apart in front of Kayla, and I did not want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And by falling apart, I mean I literally fall to my knees and I can't move, I can't feel. So I focused on myself. I couldn't, I know that sounds selfish, I don't know, I feel really bad about that, but I focused on myself and I tried to make myself better so that I could be okay. And I'm sorry, man.
That's fine. That's fine. Have you been over to where she was found?
No, I don't want to go there. I didn't want to even acknowledge the day she went missing this year because I don't want to remember her for that. I don't want to go to that place and be like, oh, this is where she died. That's wonderful. Like, why would I want to see that? Why would I care about that? Like, I just want to remember her birthday, and I want to remember
The
good
things.
things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to remember that. I don't want to know anything about that except for the fact that whoever did this is not here. That whoever did this is either dead or in jail or...
Do you know where... Are you familiar with the area where they found her?
My dad has property in Laurel,
Mm-hmm.
which you can take... Because I know that it's on 129 or off 129 or something.
121.
121? Okay, that's the one that leads you to Batesville and stuff, right? Or not Batesville, but starts with B.
Batesville.
It is Batesville. Okay. Yeah, and my dad would go that way occasionally, but usually, because he lives in Ross, he takes a totally different way. But I do know, and my dog was bought right off that road by a family. Their last name is Matt.
John was the last person known to have seen Caitlin alive. Over the years, he sat through interrogation after interrogation, repeating the same story with unusual confidence. According to him, their relationship was perfect, their future secure, and the night she vanished completely ordinary. But investigators noticed troubling gaps, behavior that didn't align with someone desperately searching for a missing fiancé. Then, nearly 2 years later, Caitlin's remains were found across state lines, wrapped and discarded. The case was no longer about a disappearance. It was now a homicide.
Interested in, as far as your involvement, or I should say participation with regard to an investigation, to once and for all be done with it?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not asking you to erase your memories of someone that you loved, but I'm asking you, you're here today as a result of police investigating something.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to be done with that?
I would like the person who did this to be caught. That is what I want. I don't want to just be done. I do. There's a part of me that, I just don't want to come here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to talk about this situation anymore. But this is what I have to do to find out who did this. And this is important to me. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking to you guys. I know from before what these are like, what these conversations are like. I know what I have to go through for this shit. And I'm sorry, pardon my language.
Don't worry about it.
But I'm here and I'm doing this and I'm talking to you guys about this and I'm taking all this in because I need to find out who did this so that I can actually go out and live a life
I know you've taken a polygraph before.
Yeah, and I really would prefer not to.
Okay, let me things are a little bit different. Okay, with them, like I said, this was the disappearance. When I can tell you, we do it ourselves. We don't send you to the FBI. We do it
They came here. I mean,
right. But
then
I mean,
they did it 2 more times. I've been through it 3 times, man. I
think what you did take was a voice analysis.
2 of them were voice stress analysis.
Right.
One of them was a polygraph, and I'm gonna be completely upfront with you. They're bullshit, and the reason why I believe that they're bullshit is because they kept telling me that I was being dishonest, and I sat there and told them the truth.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go through that again, man. I'm not going to do that. I'm telling you everything that I know. And I'm telling you that this is the truth. And that thing does not tell you what the truth is. I have, you know, the whole storyline that I told you, and the fact that it's corroborated, call all the people involved. All of it is corroborated. This is what I did. They looked at my computer and looked to see if I was watching shows, I'm assuming. They, you know, looked at my records. They looked into everything. Like, the whole point was to find out what I was doing at that time. And I'm here to tell you what I was doing at that time. That story is not going to change. Those words are not going to change. I'm not going to say anything different. I don't have anything different. I'm telling you the exact series of events that occurred. Again, the polygraph does not tell you anything. It's not going to give you anything. It's not going to help you with this investigation because it has already said that I was being dishonest. I felt defeated. I felt like I kept telling them everything that I know, and they just kept coming at me with, well, we know it was a mistake, so you can just go ahead and fess up now. Like, no, I didn't do anything to her. I would never. Okay, I was with her for 6 years of my life, my entire life. Like, that was my beginning of my adult life. And it went away like that. And it was taken from me. I did not do anything. I did not touch her. I would never hurt her. I would never physically do anything to give her pain. And accident or otherwise, I would not be here had it not been for this.
Understand something. You don't need to be defensive right now.
I'm currently being
Hold
defensive
on, man.
because I don't want to do this polygraph so bad.
Let me
I'm
say
sorry.
That's all right.
this to you.
For the next 30 minutes, John complains about the uselessness of polygraph tests and gossips about the shifting family dynamics after Caitlin's death. At the end, with nothing to hold him on, officers are left with nothing to give him but a card and an offer to talk again when he's ready. John has some parting words for the officers.
If you guys want to go through anything, if you need anything else, you know, I'm sorry for bringing it up again, but anything else other than this polygraph thing, I'll give you whatever you need. And I, you know, like I said, keep digging, and, you know, maybe when I'm in my job and I don't have to be so nervous about that on top of this, on top of that, on top of this, maybe I'll feel more comfortable coming in and doing a polygraph. But like I said, at this particular moment, I'm just not comfortable with it.
Today is February 15th, 2023, approximately 1:26 p.m. in the afternoon. Investigator Paul Newton and Investigator Mike Regal, we are sitting here with John Carter. John voluntarily came in this afternoon to speak with us.
Again, John, how you been doing? All right. See you after the pumpkin fest. Like I was telling you, see you demonstrating how to blow glass.
Yeah, yeah. I
Is that-
teach it. I was just at work.
Was you?
Yeah.
So what you do full time now?
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. Well, I think I've seen one of your other videos. That was one of your passions. You wanted to start doing something more creative, and there was something that kind of led you was the glass blowing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I told you over the phone. There's just a few things we want to go with you with. Like I said, this investigation is coming to a close on the prosecutor side of it. I know that Fairfield PD was investigating it. The sheriff's office investigated it. I think maybe you have talked once before. And there's just a few things that I still want to get your thoughts and your feelings on a few things. I know we're kind of texting your memory. It's going to be almost 12 years here shortly. But there again, we're not trying to drudge up any bad times.
I know, and that's really all this is to me. Like, and I'm not saying that it's all that what you're doing is to me. It's just that that's kind of my tension right now. It's just coming back to this again.
Right. But there's times where I think I have a better handle now on that I talk to some people who were in your your core group of people, and they told me some. I asked each person to give me a story about Caitlin, and each one had a different story. That was something that was how she touched their lives, which was really kind of cool because each person told me something that no one else knew,
right?
Which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
it really was, and I have a better perspective of how she was as a person. Okay, that being said, let's go back just briefly to when you're at the festival that night. You and Caitlin on that Friday night. Okay, you guys go to the festival. Your thoughts on you and prior. I'm going to go back and forth when it comes to some of the statements you've given in the past. You still feel, and your thoughts and your feelings deep down, you still feel that person who had done this was an unknown person, maybe that was kind of like you said, stalking, or I think your words were suspicious person that may have back in the day.
I mean, honestly, yeah, because I can't wrap my head around it being something like that.
Really?
That's really what it comes.
We're not here to.
Yeah, I know, and you got to understand.
That's why
that's
all, okay.
This is all just reminding me.
Right.
And it's a lot. It's just a lot.
It is.
Sorry.
Dude, no need to apologize. It really isn't.
It's a traumatic experience.
Yeah, I mean, you've been through a lot. You and your whole family has. And her, and don't get me wrong. Her family.
She has.
Your whole.
It was her that died.
Yeah.
It was her.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. And I feel guilty. She died. She doesn't get to live her life anymore. It's not fair.
No, it's not.
It's not.
That's one thing I've got from everybody who I've talked to, and like I said, I have a better understanding of Caitlin, was she lit up everybody's life for the positive. And she is no longer here to do that anymore. Like I said, like I told you over the phone, it would be different if she'd had a car accident. You can kind of move on because it was an accident. This here was purposeful.
But I mean, on top of all of it, it just ropes me in. I am the statistic.
Yeah.
Everyone looks at me and I am the statistic. So I can't do anything about it. Everyone's already accusing me before I even look at it.
Yeah.
Before they've even met me or know me, before they even have heard the truth or what the truth actually is. And I'd love that peace of mind. I'd love to know the truth. I'd love to find out what happened.
There's something that you have to have in your own mind, though, is that being said, people going to have their thoughts, but you're not being charged anywhere. Only thing we're doing is asking questions. At any point in time, you get walk out that door, and we're glad. I know that you're going.
There's a moment. There's a moment when all that happened, and I realized that I was not getting.
Till after you found that she's missing.
And there was a moment where I felt I couldn't hold myself up anymore because it was loss,
Overwhelming.
tremendously so. And to a point where it was so tremendously overwhelming that it was unforgettable. And whenever I have this, whenever we do this, it brings that moment in. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you do. It brings me to this moment where I am in front of her house, not knowing where she is, what I can do to help her, or keep her here, or figure out where to go to find her and bring her home. And it was, I had nowhere else to go, no one else to call, no other thoughts, no other opinions. No one else was guiding me. No one was telling me what to do. And even now, I have no one to tell me what to do or what to say.
There's no book. There's no script for this, brother. There isn't. There's no script where you just say, John, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to feel. This is
And
what
I'm
you're supposed to move on.
currently being told by my wife that I should bring a lawyer to these things, that I should do those things. I'm not doing that because I don't think, first of all, I feel like I've already found myself. If it came down to me needing a lawyer, I've already been here enough without one that it really doesn't matter what I say. I also know for a fact that I don't have anything that I can say that's going to make it seem like I did something, except for obviously the polygraph situation, which I don't fully understand, and I don't get why that happened or why it's like that. But beyond that, like, I don't have anything I can say. I don't have anything I can do or make you think that I did something, because there is nothing there. There's nothing. And I just.
Let me ask you a question. That being said, do you feel, and I think I know the answer to this, you want me to keep looking? I told you
Yes.
that next question. I told you this 2 years ago. It's been 2 years since you talked. I told you I was going to keep looking.
Yes.
And where we at?
Still looking.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yes.
Don't stop.
I'm not.
And I'm looking you in the eyes, just
Yes.
like I did last time. Do it.
I am. That's what I'm here for. I told you I would never stop. That's one thing about me. I can't. I'm too stupid to stop.
And get the right person.
That's why I'm asking you guys. We're asking you to ask questions about, because there's some things only you know.
Okay.
And remember, and in detail as possible, describe to me when you get to her car, you put the key and you unlock her car, or if it's a key fob, you unlock her car. What did you do? Look, just looking for her phone. Just looking for her phone.
Probably opened your driver's side door and center console.
Okay. Did you go to the back of the or anything? I mean, I know you're probably.
No, I really don't think so, but I may have like opened it and looked, or maybe I did. I don't remember.
Okay.
I really don't remember.
Okay.
I'm sorry, man.
No,
I really don't.
There's no for you to apologize.
I know,
we're here for the truth.
but I want to get it. I want to give you the truth. I want to give you what I remember.
No, I want you to. I'm going to show you a photo.
Yeah.
Of her car.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to tell me, these could be pictures of her car from the inside. Now, these are photographs of the inside her car. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell me if that looks like her car to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dirtier.
You know, you guys are young, and
Yeah.
she's going to school, working 2 jobs, and you know, let me move it wide. Okay. That's the couple shots of the outside of the car. Okay. Now, here's my question to you. Caitlin was about, what, 5'3"?
Mm-hmm.
About 130 pounds, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you notice about this photograph?
That is far back.
Yeah.
Maybe I moved him when I was looking for the phone to look under the seat, but I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. Well, look at both seats. Look at this is the passenger side.
They're both back. So maybe probably like if I move this one, then move that one, and then move both back. to look around. It's very possible.
Well,
But
my
again,
question is that, I mean, would you have moved those seats? Because I talked to the investigator, who took these photographs, and we actually talked to the tow truck driver. He said, we all think the tow truck driver said, he goes, we pulled up onto the back, we backed it up, we drug it up on the skid or the back, the roll back, and we stuck it in the garage, and that was that. He goes, so my question is this, both those seats been moved back like that. Is that alarming to you?
That is, yeah, that's weird. That's very weird.
And this is the back seat, what I'm showing you here.
Right, which is
that's
really
I mean, she can't reach those pedals from there.
no, probably not. I would say no.
I mean, that's a big question. That's like, who in the hell's in
That is
that car
very
besides,
strange.
who in the hell's in that car besides her?
But I definitely did not move or drive the car.
I mean, now you see why we wanted to come in. I mean, this is trouble.
That's strange.
It is very strange.
But like I said, I didn't move or drive the car at all.
I was going to ask, you mentioned earlier about, and I'm sorry again, I not worked on this case like Paul, so I don't know. You mentioned that you and Caitlin, if there was some tension or something that
It wasn't like a fight, not at all. What it really came down to was Caitlin was a little bit frustrated that I wanted to keep my night going
okay,
while she just went to bed.
okay,
But I basically kind of treated it like she'll get it,
okay.
and that was the tension. Realistically, it was just that. I was just like, gosh,
So it wasn't like an argument.
I don't know. No, like I said, she was just disappointed that she had to be doing school
Okay.
stuff, and here I go hanging out with friends. And
Then how did the documents thing, how did that,
I basically just got there and was like, "This is all Caitlin's stuff," and and they had a fire pit in the back, but it was like slightly raining. But I was just like, "I'm burning it." I just burned it. I mean, that's really what it came down to.
I see, she gave those to you before you left?
Again, the tension was there, but she's handing me this stuff. We're still going to Colorado. There is no change there.
Okay,
Like everything is still exactly as it
everything going as planned.
pretty much, yeah.
As time passed, those closest to John noticed something unsettling. While Caitlin's family searched for closure, John appeared to move on with ease. He distanced himself from searches, cut contact, and focused on rebuilding his own life. Key details emerged about locations he downplayed, messages that vanished, and timelines that didn't add up. Each explanation sounded reasonable on its own, but together they formed a pattern that was impossible to ignore.
So I did find something interesting. So there's three episodes of White Collar. Season 2, episode 12, episode 13, episode 14. You said they're about 45 minutes apiece?
Something like that.
Okay. Then later in the day, I guess after you've gotten up, you look at the plot summaries for the same, it's on your computer.
I mean, I don't know why. I didn't look up any plot summaries.
Yeah, I mean, so later in the day, so I'm converting this from the military time, but about 3:17, you look at the plot summary for episode 13, which is the one that you watched the night before, which just like maybe just,
I don't remember doing that. Did I look it up on IMDb? Like I don't normally do that, so I don't know why.
Yeah, there is a synopsis, basic plot summary for episode 13,
Okay.
and then plot summary for episode 14. And that bothered me. I'll be honest, that kind of bothered me a little bit because in some of your viewing, it kind of made sense because like maybe you're about to watch episode 10. I'm talking about like before, like a few days before. So you looked at a plot summary for episode 9. That kind of makes sense. We all understand that. Like, what happened? But it was weird to me that you would look at like a synopsis for something you just watched a few hours ago.
Yeah, I don't remember doing that. I didn't do that. I slept. I mean, it corroboratingly slept. You can ask my mom. I was asleep.
Well, I can tell you this. Part of your fund records. You made a phone call at, I believe it was 2:24 that day. Papa John's. I don't want to call Papa John's because you remember this whole thing.
Okay.
But there again, you call Papa John's. You also text message Nate Iden. See when you back then?
Yeah.
And I think you also text.
Okay.
And it was all prior to 4:30.
Right, and this would have been at about 3:30 or 3:20, somewhere around there. And I'll be honest, John, it was odd to me because I don't normally even look at summary for something that I just watched a few hours before.
Yeah, I again don't know why it pulled up a plot summary, but it could be from me just like clicking back, like exiting out of things, going back or something like that. I mean, that could have easily been why. But I don't generally look at plot summaries even days later. I just watch the previously on thing, which those have. So all of those episodes have previously on white collar. So I don't look up plot summaries. I don't know why that was on there. But maybe again, it's because I had clicked back on it. Maybe there is a missing point where I did like look at my computer, talk to people. I really don't know. And honestly, at a certain point, I just don't have an answer for it.
This is the white collar episodes that you were talking about. And
this is at 3 a.m. or p.m.
No, this is this is in the morning. So this would be about the computer shows activity at about 1:39, 1:40, and then you watch some episodes of white collar. Okay. And you told me they're about 45 minutes a piece. Okay, so you can see there's like time gaps. And then there's like break-in activity. And then again, yes, like you said, whenever you got up.
Probably looked at whatever.
And then sprinkled in there are like these plot summaries.
Okay, so if I was waking up, I probably looked at those were probably part of the, like, either I was clicking out of something or I was like going through stuff. I mean, it could have just simply have been an accidental click. It could have been anything, but I wasn't reading plot summaries.
Okay.
They were just either I was obviously watching it the night before, I got on it the next day, and these things were probably either still up on my computer and I moved around things to get to what I was doing there or what. I don't know, but I didn't look at it.
You didn't need a break.
No. Just ready. I mean, I do eventually gotta go back to work. So.
Okay. We'll try to hurry this up. Go back to your guys' cell phones, just briefly. Her phone goes dark at 12:06. Never comes back on.
Mm-hmm.
Your cell phone doesn't go dark, what we call dark. We call it goes in activity at 12:04, and there's no activity for the next 14 to 15 hours. Is that unusual for you to?
No, I don't. Like sometimes, especially at that hour, there's no one texting.
Okay.
There's no one, and I don't look at my phone, especially at that time. I don't even know if I had a Facebook yet. Like, I didn't really look at my phone that often unless I got a text or I got something.
Because we had someone look at the phone numbers back in the past and said that was unusual for you to be receiving a text. Well, I mean, there again, even you at your own mission center, you thought you sent Caitlin a text at 4 in the morning. So, good morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not unusual. It was unusual for you to be that many hours without any messages or phone calls or.
I mean, I was already at the friend's house that I planned on being at, and Caitlin was in bed, as far as I knew.
Have you talked to any of your buddies about what we talked to them about? What we talked to them about? Maybe like Matt.
And I talked to Matt a little bit, but
John, talked to him any? Mike? You go to your party, to the registry, run the documents, remember among any point them, and you come back to the next. Okay. We have information that this is from two different people. That I'll tell you the story. Two people are walking down the street, and at approximately between what they say is 1:30 and 2 o'clock in the morning, they see or they hear two cars coming, and they are juveniles at the time. And they're scared to death because they are juveniles. You know how Fairfield PD is with juveniles at that time. It's late night, and they see two cars pull up. And they hide behind a tree. Some evergreens that were in there. They see two cars pull up. And the two cars, lights are blacked out. And they see a red Ford Focus pull into the driveway at your residence at the time, right? And that was your address at the time, right? It was on mom. And they see a darker blue four-door sedan right behind the Ford Focus. The red Ford Focus pulls into the driveway. Garage door opens up. They see the car pull into the garage. Garage door shuts. The blue car stays out on the street.
okay, no, there's a problem.
Okay.
I didn't hear.
Okay. Let me finish the story then.
Okay.
The blue car stays out on the street. Between 5 and 15 minutes later, garage door pulls back open. Car pulls back out. Both cars are still blacked out, and they go back the same way they coming down West Scioto towards a cow. You know, the west side that comes down towards your house, and they see the two cars. Red car pulls out, the car turns around, and they go the same way they come back out. Heading back towards West Scioto, heading towards, that would be what, River Road? Okay. Same story they told. They told they were heading, they were going to a party that night. They were going to a party to meet some girls. And they said they are positive what they seen that night. Now
I can't.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I told you the gist of the story.
Yeah. I have my story. That's what happened.
Right.
What I did. I don't park in my garage. I parked in the driveway every night. And I'll say beyond, didn't have anything.
And they got a third person backing them up that he took them to the party and picked them up in close proximity to your house. The third person. And they were like, "Oh shit, that was weird," because they thought they were going to get busted by a Fairfield Police Department. When in doubt, it was a red Ford Focus and a blue four-door sedan.
I don't have anything for you. Those people, I don't know.
Right.
That's not. I told you I did, and where I was at home.
They were pretty certain about that.
The time does match up with you. I mean, it's like you said, that time when I was showing you the time that these people say that you arrived is consistent.
I didn't go anywhere.
So
I
you got
stayed at home.
home.
I got home and I stayed home. And in fact, my stepdad would wake up ridiculously early to do work. And he got up pretty early that morning to do work, and my car was there in the driveway. Steve and my mom both parked in the garage,
Okay.
and they were both of their cars were in there. I never parked in my garage, so that story is already flawed. On top of the fact that none of that happened. None of it. I
Okay,
went home, I got inside, I watched my shows, I laid down, I went to bed. I mean, that is pretty much what happened as far as I can remember it at this point in this whole situation.
Mhm.
And I don't have, you feel free to bring the witnesses in. I don't know what to tell you. There's no more I can prove to you.
They gave
So-
statements. They gave statements back. This is not something new.
Okay.
It really isn't. This is something, they did their statements back in the day. Shortly after Hickman's body was found, because they didn't put two together until like, oh shit, that's what we seen that night.
Okay, but I don't know what they saw or who. I can't tell you.
Okay.
There was no loose stand, and loose stand that could be. I don't
one of your friends was driving.
As far as I know, though, it was Jeff who drove a blue Ford Focus, but yeah.
Nobody else?
No. And I didn't leave after I went home.
You were home that whole time in the morning?
After the party, I'm
After
pretty
the
sure.
party.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
You're pretty sure?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously it's been years down the
I
line.
understand that,
But
you
I
were-
didn't leave. I
Right.
didn't like go drive my car somewhere.
So he was seeing you guys at the festival. I guess he showed up after work.
Mhm.
You guys, I guess you were there for the big drawing at night.
I wanted to try it.
And this is Jeff talking. Yeah, he said hi to you. He said he seemed kind of out of sorts. And he said, I guess he said hi to you and you say hi back, which is unusual. Jeff said, you guys are, I think you said that core group of guys.
Okay.
And that you didn't say hi to him. He goes, you can tell there was something wrong between you and Caitlin that night. He said, and
She was frustrated that I
to the point, dude. She says to the point. He says to the point, dude, that it looked like everyone breaking up. And I was like, damn, that's pretty. I mean, I know some of the people upset that there was tension that night, but to the point of you guys breaking up.
No.
So Caitlin wasn't having any second thoughts about moving to
Not that I'm
Colorado?
aware of. No, not that she had made me aware of. Okay, so as far as like anything like that, if she felt that way or if it seemed that way to him, that's all fine, but I was.
This is
not
his
aware.
observation.
Yeah, I was not aware of that kind of tension. Caitlin, I remember, was like already just kind of tense and frustrated, but all of that, again, a lot to do with her getting ready for school to be over, for us getting ready to move. And there was just a lot of like things building up around that. And just, but the plan was still the same as far as I knew. Everything was exactly the way it was supposed to be going at that particular time.
Right.
So.
Did Caitlin get frustrated with, I mean, you're now like, in glass blower and, seem to found your way and life and stuff. But at the time, I think you were kind of bouncing around and working and she seemed to be, I mean, just my limited experience, she seemed to be really motivated. Very artistic, very driven, working.
Yeah, I think she
there-
was probably worried that I wasn't going anywhere or doing anything. But at the same time, like I still had drive, still had an ability to get things done. And for the most part, while she was in college, I was helping her through a lot of that stuff. Like, yeah, her dad paid for a lot of her groceries and stuff, but like I was a part of her life. I helped her through college. It wasn't just like I worked off and it kept working. And it wasn't just the money for me, that was for us. And she knew that.
Yeah, forgive me. I know I'm going over things I know you've probably gone over, but your phone also was something that I know was examined back then. You deleted text messages between you and Caleb. What was that?
That was an utter and complete horrific accident. The idea was, again, not great with computers, not at all. And what I had done, the way that the phone worked, I went to just delete a few messages because it said it was going to start deleting all of my messages if I didn't delete some so that I could receive messages. I've been receiving massive amounts of messages about Caitlin, about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So as those started coming in, I started worrying that Caitlin's messages would start to get deleted. So I went through and carefully tried to select each one. And then when I pushed the delete button, it deleted all of them, except for ones that seemed to be like pocket saved or something. I had like a handful of ones left behind, but it almost deleted every other one. Like, and I don't know why. But I had given the phone. They had all of the information. I had not deleted it before I gave it to them the first time. And I really didn't mean to do that. And I know what it looks like.
Yeah, and I'll be honest.
I'm aware. I'm aware of that. But there's nothing I can do about that. It was a complete and utter accident.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, not knowing the case as well as Paul, I mean, that was one of the things that stuck out to me.
I understand that, but at the same time, like I said, they had the phone. There was nothing deleted when they originally had my phone the first time they took it. That was literally that day. They had my phone for hours, and they didn't copy anything. I didn't make that mistake. I made the mistake of accidentally deleting it before they could make a decision to copy everything.
Okay. And it was an accident that you deleted
Absolutely.
Caitlin's message.
Absolutely, because I did want to go back and read them. I did want to see them. I had messages from her going way back.
So you accidentally deleted the whole?
Everything but the ones that Pocket Dialed saved.
Oh.
I'm telling you, every message was deleted. And then they wanted to come to me and say, well, why weren't these messages deleted? I can't explain why those got saved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. But almost every other message I had was gone. I had, like, you know how it shows the whole screen of messages?
Right.
I had this many messages at the top of my screen.
Right.
A lot of them got deleted. And I did not hear anything else.
A couple more things. When it comes to, I know about Carter Land Farm. How many people have you taken out there and on that route to your dad's place out? A handful of people.
Yeah, and like
the core group of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably your special place. Is that a special place for you? No. Your friends? I mean,
it was fun to go out there, but that's because it was a lack of supervision. It's the only reason we went out there. Nobody was there to watch us smoke pot.
You can understand why that. I mean, obviously, you know where Caitlin's remains were found.
I'm aware of it.
Yeah. And it's out there in Indiana. It also seems to me, again, Paul knows this case a lot better than me. I think the reason why he's asked you about this circle of friends is it doesn't seem that there would be a lot of possibilities of this type of crime, you know.
Mm-hmm. Outside of like immediate friends.
Outside of a small group of people. And then the body is found in Indiana. That doesn't seem like that would be some random person or random crime.
I will tell you this, John. All your core group friends I've talked to, I mean all of them, all said the same thing. Caitlin's not opening that door just for me. So I mean the whole adage of who then?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
I don't know.
That's
and like I said, you asked me my speculation. I told you, I don't know.
That's what I mean. I always wanted to know how you felt, even to this day, because sometimes hindsight's 20/20. You know, it's been 12 years.
I just.
You still feel the same
you're
way?
But what you're asking me is not just, do I think that somebody I know killed her? You're asking me, do I think my friends killed her?
Yeah.
And how do I answer that?
Truthfully.
I mean, like,
You're-
but,
I wanna- deep
but
down.
I don't know who.
Deep down, I want to know what John
Have
Carter
you looked into
thinks.
John, who recently killed himself? Because I've always wondered about him, and I don't feel like anybody's ever really done it. I don't understand why, and I don't understand a lot,
I understand.
but I don't know. And I don't know who to point a finger at. I've dug, trust me. But, I mean, how do I get that answer? How do I come to that conclusion? Is it a feeling? I don't know.
I'll take you beyond it. I'll take a feeling because you are the,
The only feeling I've had, I had a feeling about John for some reason. Don't know why. I've had a feeling about everyone at one point or another. Yeah.
understandable.
And the finger has been pointed to everyone.
Sometimes.
But that's the other thing.
Unfair.
But that's the other thing. I don't have an exact answer. You asked me what my thoughts are. I mean, that I don't know.
Thoughts and feeling. I mean, so I know.
I'm giving you everything I got.
Thoughts one thing, feelings another, something else.
Yeah.
Because it means
I've
like
given
us,
you
actually.
everything.
In 2023, after years of circumstantial evidence quietly stacking up, a grand jury made its decision. John Carter was indicted, not on speculation, but on the weight of contradictions, behavior, and unanswered questions. Faced with trial, he ultimately admitted responsibility in exchange for a reduced charge. The court rejected leniency, citing a complete lack of remorse. And after more than a decade of doubt, Caitlin Markham's case finally reached its conclusion, not with the truth John tried to sell, but with the reality he couldn't escape.